Hello and welcome to What the Figure, where I review strange, unusual, and plain-out crap figures that I've come across in my time as a collector and reviewer of such items. Today we're going to be taking a look at these KMG Wrestle Classic Collector Series action figures. So essentially these are just really terrible knockoff wrestling action figures. They're meant to sort of fool you into them being the old WWF Classic Collection figures, which were actually pretty good. These, however, are not. Anyway, let's go ahead and open these up, and I'll show you how terrible they are. Alright, let's start off with a size comparison, shall we? These are roughly in a 6-inch scale, if you care. Here's a Marvel Legends figure, and here's a wrestling figure that's actually legitimate and a fairly decent figure, at least for its age. These are, they're probably in scale with most 6-inch stuff. They are a little bit taller than Marvel Legends, but they're still pretty terrible. Moving on to a quick little 360 spin. They don't look very good, do they? For whatever reason, that guy there with the blonde hair has a spider painted on his chest for some reason. He's got some red wristbands and some green pants and boots, which are essentially all just molded in that green plastic. His chest is a different skin tone than his arms and head are. The other fellow here has indistinguishable red marks on a very shiny black body. And then he has, like, the Undertaker Phenom symbol thing on his legs for some strange reason. And he also has similar issues with his head not matching the same color as his body. It's not something I can actually show you, but these things feel just so cheap. Like, they rattle, and they feel like you're going to break them if you breathe on them too hard. It's pretty great. Anyway, let's go ahead and zoom in on the head sculpts. That should be nice. Alright, zooming in on the head sculpts, I suppose the actual sculpting part is not that bad. Blonde-haired guy over here looks a lot like Mick Foley, except he's blonde for some strange reason. He does look very happy, though, so I guess he's doing okay. This other guy here, my camera doesn't really show it quite as well as I would like, but his head is really, really pink. As are the actual discs in his ball joint shoulders. And they're very different color from his actual skin. I assume he's got some sort of terrible sunburn. His hair is also purple for some strange reason. His head sculpt actually looks familiar to me, like he looks like someone, but I just can't place who it is. Maybe you know, but I can't really figure out who it is. I just know that it looks familiar. Purple Hair Man also has these really, really weird sideburn things, and there's just a massive glob of glue there that's holding his hair on. And if you turn this around, you can see it's just dripping down the back of his head. It's pretty good quality control right there. Anyway, let's zoom out and we can look at some articulation. Articulation-wise, I believe these guys are very similar to the current WWE Basics series, except much worse, because their joints are all so loose. They do have like ball peg heads, ball joint shoulders, bicep cut, single joint elbow, wrist hinge and cut, waist cut hips that go forward and back, hinge knees, and hinge ankles. So they're not terrible in terms of articulation. It's one of the few things that they're not terrible at. All their joints are really loose and feel like they're gonna just kind of break off if you move them too much. But they are there, so I guess that's something. These guys don't come with any accessories, although I have seen pictures of these figures with like title belts and big barbells and stuff. But this particular set of them doesn't seem to come with those. So let's just go ahead and look at the packaging, shall we? So yeah, if you've ever seen the WWE Classic Collection packaging, you will know that it looks a lot like this. That classic collector over there on the side, same sort of style there, and then you got your big logo here, World KMG Wrestle Action Figure Collection Champion Series. I've got a little price tag up there that says it cost me $3 whole to buy this. Got ripped off. Deluxe Edition, got a window there, Collector Series, World Championship on that side, and some artwork that I believe is stolen from Tekken on this side. On the back you get some artwork that I know is stolen from Tekken. More of the same logo, collect them all, I would prefer not to. And then there are apparently quite a lot of these. They did have more than I bought at the store where I got these at, but I chose to get 2. Some of these have somewhat familiar faces. This guy down here looks a bit like John Cena. That guy looks a bit like The Undertaker. This guy over here looks like Sylvester Stallone for some reason. They actually had that one. I kind of wish I would have bought it, because he does look a lot like Sylvester Stallone. It's kind of funny. Here are the two that we looked at, Mr. Blonde Mick Foley and Mr. Weird Purple Glue Hair Guy. He actually doesn't have the weird pigment issues on the box like he does in real life. On the bottom you get your standard warning labels and barcodes and informing you that it's made in China. I feel very sorry for the Chinese manufacturers that have to make this crap. All in all, it is a pretty good packaging design, and that's probably why they stole it. If you really want to display really terrible action figures, these are good for in or out of package display. So yeah, KMG Wrestle, whatever the hell that means. That about wraps it up for these guys. If you know of any unusual or terrible action figures, let me know about them, and if they're relatively cheap, I may buy them and make a What the Figure video of them. So until next time, goodbye! Hello, you've just watched one of my videos. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed my videos. If you didn't, run away and never return. Also, feel free to check out my other channels, Venom Raptor for all my variety gaming content, and VR Reviews for reviews of various action figures and collectibles. Thank you, and goodbye.